Welcome to the Sharkpreneur podcast with Kevin Harrington and Seth Greene. Kevin Harrington is the inventor of the infomercial, one of the original sharks from the hit TV show Shark Tank, and has generated over $5 billion in TV and digital direct response sales. Seth Greene is the world's first trusted authority on cutting-edge direct response marketing, a best-selling author, and the only 3-time Marketer of the Year nominee. On the podcast, Kevin and Seth interview Sharkpreneurs who share straight talk on what it takes to explode your business.
Why do so many businesses struggle while others seem to explode overnight? Do you wish you had the secret to this type of exponential growth? Now, I've scaled more than 20 businesses to over $100 million, and it's not just luck. In my new book with Mark Tim, Mentor to Millions, you'll learn the repeatable framework I use in all my business ventures for massive success. Order at kevinmentor.com and get over $1,000 in bonuses. Head to kevinmentor.com.
Welcome to the podcast. This is your host, Seth Greene. Today, I've got the good fortune to be joined by Heinan Landa of optimalnetworks.com. He is the founder and CEO, starting the company back in 1991. Their goal was to build a technology services company that would not only provide its clients with mind-blowing results, but have serious fun doing so. We're going to hear all about that today. Heinan, thanks so much for joining us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So you started the company back in 1991. What inspired you to get started?
Well, I started coming right out of business school, and I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur because I grew up in a very entrepreneurial family. And over time, I realized that no matter where I was, I remember this is 1991, whatever job I had, part-time job, what have you, I became the de facto network administrator. People really, I had a marketing job at a huge company, and I became the network administrator. I'm like, how did that work, you know? And really, people needed a lot of help with the computers. It was a very new field at the time, and businesses didn't quite know what they were doing with them. And I love the looks on people's faces when they could finally do something. And so it made me happy. And I said, well, if I can make these folks happy and that makes me happy, let's put it together and make a business out of it.
All right, so there's a leap of faith right there. What was the original? I know you wanted to deliver great results and have fun along the way. What was the first product or service that Optimal offered?
The first one was we had a stable of really talented engineers, and we would assign each engineer a few clients, and in a very engineering way, we would send the engineers to the clients on a regular basis. And it was just a simple engineering concept that, hey, if you could have some proactive service, if you could have someone looking at your computers at your network on a regular basis, they probably won't fail. And simple but effective. And that was really our first offering. And it's still a key part of our service today, actually.
Yes, we're going to find it and fix it before it breaks.
Yes, that's the idea.
I love the proactive push, especially since we all suffer countless dollars and wasted hours of downtime when that does happen. I love that you're preventative. So talk a little bit about, you've been on one heck of a journey, and obviously you have a lot more offerings now. Talk a little bit about some of the other things that you do.
Wow. Well, listen, 30 years worth of this.
There's a list, I know.
There's a huge list. The industry has changed dramatically. And what our primary offering now is a fixed monthly fee, what do they call it? Managed service, right? Where we are basically your IT partner. You're a small, medium-sized business. You're a law firm. You're an association, professional services firm. You do not want to hire your internal staff necessarily. We will take care of you. We will be that organization. We'll provide you the help desk, and we'll take care of your servers and the cloud and the training and everything that you need done. We will take care of because we are your IT department. So that's the flagship, right?
Okay, so IT department in a box, essentially.
Okay. Yeah.
For oversimplification purposes.
Thank you. Yes.
Who is an ideal client for that? And then does that matter? Like, does number of seats matter? Number of machines that you're supervising? How did that stuff type of thing work?
The number of seats matters. I like to say we're 15 to 150, and that's the number of seats number of people in the organization. We do really, really well there, and we do incredibly well with law firms. In fact, we've really, really doubled down on being a superb provider for law firms. I have a prop. I wrote a book.
Love it.
Which is called The Modern Law Firm and How to Thrive in an Era of Rapid Technological Change.
We will go get a copy of it. That's awesome.
Which was weird because I released it, or I finished it right before the pandemic. And then the pandemic.
You have to rewrite it?
No, actually, it was like strangely prescient. It's like I went and actually released it during the pandemic because it talked about, hey, let's go. We got to absorb this technology and lean into it, because if we don't, it's going to overwhelm us. And that worked out actually pretty well right around that time.
Well, congratulations on that. What inspired you to write the book?
Let me see if I can say this nicely. I was a little worried. I love law firms. They make some of the most wonderful clients, but they have traditionally been a little bit behind on the technology front.
Just a little.
Just a little. And technology is increasing exponentially, right? It is, and we've known this for a long time. And I thought I would actually have to spend most of my time talking about what exponential growth means of technology. Coronavirus took care of that for me, so right. I don't have to do that anymore. But I was worried that law firms were not going to ride this wave, and they were going to get overwhelmed by the technology. And so it's two things. It's fundamentally a call to action for law firms, saying, guys, you got to realize the technology is going to continue to change, and it's going to change faster and faster and faster and faster. And if you want to thrive, you need to keep up with it. That was one call to action there. And the second was actually to release a set of tools that would let people assess themselves and sort of move their organization forward one step at a time, methodically. So it's not just sort of, hey, we're doing better or not, but to really measure it and move it forward. So it was timely.
Absolutely. Now, how has COVID impacted your business? Because you've suddenly got a lot of those machines are now at home. They're now laptops. People are working so much more remote than they were before. How does that kind of affect your ability to provide your services and do your job?
A lot of different ways, some good, some not so good. One of the not good ways is that we had made a trade. We had really, what's the word? We had made our reputation on being able to provide really wonderful, high talented, friendly engineers to come on site and help you with your systems. And that sort of blew up, right? No one's going on site anywhere. Even today, only somewhere between 35 and 50% of our clients want us to come on site. And instead of having one office, everyone went home to work. So it's like we suddenly had 50 offices or 70 offices. So there's a lot of change there. But the good news is that we found ways to do it remotely. We'd have our proactive visits. Our engineers would actually open up a Zoom room or a Teams room, and people would come and visit with them. And it worked out actually quite well, and they were still able to be proactive and move technology forward. And probably the biggest change is that the geographic boundaries that we serve sort of fell away a little bit. And it's not so much of a problem to serve people almost anywhere. I'm not saying we're not focusing. I mean, we're still focusing in our general regional area, but that barrier vanished. We can take care of you no matter where you are. The other thing that became really pivotal is security. Because we went from one office that we were protecting to 50 offices, if you will, or 100 offices, the security threats skyrocketed. And also hackers and folks putting out malware and bad actors, they amped up their efforts during this pandemic like nothing you have ever seen before in your life. And that gave us a chance to talk to our clients and help try to protect them even more.
You have achieved, the company's grown so much since you started. What's your biggest challenge now?
My biggest challenge and my biggest, what I really thrive on is more growth. Because I think actually we have something very special to bring to the market. I always compare, I hope I don't sound like every other business owner, but I really feel like we are providing the Nordstroms of IT service to our clients. And if you want a personal shopper, you come to me. I will take care of you all the way through and through this IT journey, and I will give you an experience unlike anyone else does. And so my challenge, my pleasure is when my company, and that is what I spend most of my time trying to bring in more clients, employees, people, just to expand our community, because it's really wonderful.
How do you communicate? How do you get, how do you differentiate yourself in the marketplace? And then how do you communicate that differentiation?
So we're differentiated probably number one by our culture. We've always had a very strong culture, an intentional culture, a values-based culture, and that has attracted some of the top talent that I can find, which now has made us what you might affectionately call a talent magnet. So that's been wonderful, and we have very, very long retention because of that, and so that allows us to provide even better service. So that's probably one of the number one things. Number two has to do with the results that we bring. We're very focused on business. We're not in technology for technology's sake. We're in technology to give you business results, whatever business you're in. And I think that's still novel in the technology arena. I think there's a lot of technologists and they like technology, and that's great, and I do too, but to really focus it in on the business world and business results is a differentiator. And third, we have a small team of high level CIOs, Chief Information Officers. They're very expensive, but they will guide you through technology mayhem like nobody else I have ever met. And I really think it's an advantage to have that that type of talent in the company. So you're saying, so your next part was, how do I get that out there in the market?
Yes, how do you communicate that?
Yeah. Welcome to my daily challenge. That we do a lot of talking to the media. We do a lot of LinkedIn. We do with the website, which has been redesigned 1,001 times, and looking for another really standard marketing, but really trying to get our digital presence to represent how wonderful our team is and how we can really bring the results and the direction to you.
That makes a lot of sense. Your passion is obvious. What do you like best about what you're doing?
I really love all of it. It's really fun for me. The people I work with are phenomenal. It is a pleasure to wake up in the morning, bound out of bed, and have these folks to throw ideas back and forth, to support each other. We're doing it together. It's really wonderful. I love the whole community we've created. Actually, the clients are spectacular. It's hard to express, but I actually really enjoy. I thrive off of the people, and I thrive off of making these folks happy and making a real impact on their business life, and I thrive on the growth. I really enjoy it, and we're doing some good things to enable us to expand. So I love that.
That's awesome. For our viewers and listeners who are businesses, law firms, professional practices with 15 to 150 machines, where is the best place for them to go to learn more about you and what you're doing?
Well, you can follow me on LinkedIn. That's always a great place. If you want to connect with me directly, it's Heinan Landa, and you can see the spelling because that's challenging. And blame my mother. And you can also go to our website, which is optimalnetworks.com. Also a great place to connect.
All right. Well, this has been Seth Greene with Heinan Landa of optimalnetworks.com. Heinan, thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody, for watching or listening. We'll talk to you or see you next time.
Do you need money to fund your idea, product, or service?
Are you ready to take your business to the next level, but need capital to get it done? Kevin Harrington has heard more than 50,000 pitches and knows how to help you make the perfect pitch to get the funding for your entrepreneurial dream. He's distilled the process down in his perfect pitch cheat sheet, and it's yours for free. Just text PITCH to him right now at 727-888-2100. Text PITCH to 727-888-2100 right now and claim your free perfect pitch cheat sheet. Text PITCH to 727-888-2100 to start funding your dream today.
This show has been produced by Market Domination, LLC. To discover how you can have your own show completely done for you and turn it into a real published book and become the authority in your marketplace, go to www.marketdominationllc.com/podcast offer.